Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Today we're excited to feature the very talented Michael Leonhart. Michael is highly sought in the music and entertainment world, not only as a trumpet player and multi-instrumentalist, but also as a producer, arranger, and composer. He recently collaborated on and produced Sachal's new release, Slow Motion Miracles, and has also performed and or recorded with artists such as Steely Dan, Yoko Ono, Bruno Mars, Mark Ronson, Bobby McFerrin, A Tribe Called Quest, and many, many more. We really hope you enjoy today's discussion with Michael about Sachal's Slow Motion Miracles, songwriting, producing, and much more.
Right.
So what is your composition process like? Do songs come to you all at once, or do you just figure out like a groove or the lyrics first?
It all depends, because you want to suss out, is someone, especially, do you know who's going to be singing it? If
Right.
you're writing, in the case, Sachal knows he's going to be singing it. So what is his process usually? You know, you can take someone out of their comfort zone, but if he's used to wrapping his mind around the sound of the lyrics. Maybe it's not the final lyrics, but a lot of people use, fake syllables, so that they know what it's going to be. And then many times, and Paul McCartney would do this, where you know what the sound of the word is going to be, and you're going to land on the chorus with an open vowel. So if that's the case, then you're kind of just fake singing throughout it and coming up with melodies. I've worked times when people had written lyrics, and it's more dealing with poetry. Like my wife is an incredible lyricist, and she'll have, it just flows with her. She comes up with these lyrics. They don't even rhyme, but you don't know it. It's like Fiona Apple. The lyrics are so strong that it just sets you on this path. That's not very common. More often, you start with a groove. If you're working with, now I had known Sachal, so there was a familiar ground there. We would start with a groove, maybe a riff, and then sing something. Maybe I would sing something, he would sing something. You grab on to, as soon as something comes out of the air, cover the water with, is something you go, yeah, and you start writing it down and putting it in piece, almost like Legos.
Right.
So the goal is to just find sort of clay that you love and it's starting to fit in. The process can be coming at it from a purely musical perspective, or the flip side of coming at it from a purely lyrical perspective. The most fun to me and interactive is being able to do it simultaneously, because if you can fall upon a lyric and a melody that fits over the music writing in an early stage, I believe that it's easy. You're not trying to fit a circle into a square hole later on. So, but that doesn't always happen. And I've heard so often that inspiration is for amateurs. Like if you wait to be inspired, it may never come. Sometimes you have to finish a song because you're going to do it at a club tomorrow. You're going to record it for an album. You're going to ask to be done at the Olympics, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So there are multiple ways, but it's just a matter of finding that one or two little building blocks of inspiration.
Yeah. Sort of on a related note, how do you know when a song or an album is done? Like, how do you know, because really people could spend a long time perfecting something. So how do you know?
I know in my bones, because at some point after making 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th album, whether as a solo artist or as a sideman or as a producer, to me there's a sensation in my body that there are always things that can be fixed, but it's past that 96, 97% mark, that the stuff I'm considering fixing is so small and so detail-oriented that it's at a place where it's time to finish. So it's not like it's all wrapped up, because it's very few artists have made albums. I don't think anyone makes an album where when you listen to it you don't go, oh, that could be different.
Right.
I am thrilled that the majority of the albums I've made, when I hear them, I really love them, and that's a great feeling.
Absolutely.
But I'd be lying if I said you go, oh, it's 100% done. It's often that it's time to finish. What the old Lorne Michaels Saturday Night Live thing is, it's a perfect comparison. They say Saturday Night Live goes on not because they're ready, but because it's 11:30 on Saturday. It's time to go. You've run out of time. That's a beautiful thing. if in the case when I'm the one dictating the schedule, or the artist and myself have the luxury of dictating it, as I said, because the stuff that you're considering fixing is so minute,
right,
that you're in a place that it's time to lock it up. And once you can develop that body sense, it's really empowering. And sometimes, I mean, I don't know if people have that gift from an early age. For me, it started happening around 30. When I had made enough and I had struggled with, maybe this could be fixed. And at some point I realized, no, we're dealing with very small things. Or I worked on an album and I could hear the small things that I fixed in the 11th hour, and they really didn't need to be fixed. It didn't ruin it, but I realized, this is this perfect time. It's like cooking. The people are sitting at the table. You can make them wait 5 minutes for their meal, but if you make them wait 45 minutes, they're not going to enjoy the meal. So you just kind of know.
It's a really good way to put it. Who are some of your key musical influences?
My key musical influences, I would say Igor Stravinsky, Serge Gainsbourg, Lalo Schifrin, Bjork, Duke Ellington, Kate Bush, Sly Stone, James Brown, Bob Dylan, Steely Dan, sort of every artist on the Stax label and the Motown label.
Yeah.
Probably every artist that was on Blue Note Records. Leonard Cohen. It's
a nice list.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned Steely Dan, and I know you've had quite a career working with like a huge array of different artists. I see Bruno Mars, Yoko Ono, Bobby McFerrin. You must have a lot of great stories from these collaborations. Do you have any highlights?
Well, I have to think of the ones I can tell. I mean, the one that recently that kind of tickles me is Steely Dan was playing Coachella last month, and we went in there as soon as we were booked for it, which I think was January, February. The next day, the Washington Post said, and now, Steely Dan is playing Coachella. It's dead now. Like, now it's your dad's festival and shouldn't be playing. This signifies the end of it. And Donald Fagen and Walter Becker really are kind of immune to that. They've got so many bad reviews and dealt with, polar reviews and fans. But there was this whole to-do of what the hell is Steely Dan playing Coachella? So we went in, and we wound up doing a very you can only play an hour set. It's tightly. Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
It's a crazy scene, but we played an hour set, and it was the tightest, meanest set because it was just hit after hit after hit after hit.
Yeah.
And I walked around the hot festival grounds in Indio like the whole day and heard some cool bands. But what I noticed is that most of the bands, there was some EDM stuff, there was some rave. It was cool, but you didn't hear a lot of songs.
Music,
Yeah, and that's cool. And I'm not like a curmudgeon. I liked it, but when we played our set, and I've been with the band now 19 years, I had like this. I was so proud to be up there playing these incredible songs with these kind of timeless lyrics. And I looked over to the side of the stage, and there was in a line, it was Clint Eastwood, Ringo Starr, Bradley Cooper, and then behind us was Paul McCartney. And all these people had come from California to check out Steely Dan at Coachella, and it was just this crazy little energy, And they were like fans because Paul McCartney came to a show, Steely Dan show in England in 2007, and it was quite a scene. But backstage at Coachella, it was very mellow. So I mean, that was just one of the highlights. It just kind of struck me as, wow, this is kind of surreal.
What would people be most surprised to learn about you?
That my 5-year-old son can beat me at chess. Really kind of depressing.
Thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to Michael Leonhart for participating in our Google Hangout. You can watch this Hangout and many more on our YouTube page at youtube.com/crossovermedianet. Also, feel free to check out our website, crossovermedia.net, for more on our artists and music news. Thanks again.